This week we're starting a new series, and the name of this series is a word most middle schoolers know and use a lot. That word is awkward. If you're anything like me, you've experienced some pretty awkward situations in your lifetime so far. For example, falling down the stairs between your classes at school, your dad telling cringy dad jokes when your friends are over at your house, accidentally responding to the wrong group chat with a funny text that you meant to send your best friend. Well, for the next 4 weeks, we're diving into a series called Awkward. And in it, we're going to lean into one of those things that probably tops your list of awkward stuff to talk about: attraction and sexual desires. Yeah, that's right. We're going to spend 4 whole weeks talking about sex right here at church. Pretty awkward, right? Well, you may feel weird, uncomfortable, strange, or even awkward talking about things like sex. Let me assure you that you're not alone. In fact, those feelings are normal. You're also going to hear me mention sexual desires throughout this series. Here's what I mean by that. The word desire simply means a strong feeling of wanting to have or do something. And when I talk about sexual desires, then I'm talking about sexual things we feel, think about, or want to do. Now, because we're human, we all mess up sometimes, right? When we make mistakes and wrong decisions and don't always have those decisions line up with what God has in mind for us, we end up choosing to do things that we want instead of what God knows is best for us. And that's called sin. And because of sin, we all deserve to be separated from God. But instead, God had mercy on all of us. He sent Jesus to save us and bring us back into a relationship with Him. That's the ultimate act of mercy. So what can we do to make sure that what we do with our desires matter? Well, here's a few thoughts. First, choose sexual integrity. Remember, sexual integrity is choosing to respond to sexual things we feel, think, and desire in a way that respects ourselves, others, and God. You have a chance right now to set a standard for how you're going to respond to your desires. You get to decide how you're going to act, what pictures you're going to post or forward on, what you're going to wear or not wear, what words you choose to use when you speak, when you choose what you're going to watch, look at, or think about. For any of us, the good news is that no matter what we've chosen or dealt with in the past, we can always begin to choose sexual integrity today. The second thing is pay attention. You know God has a plan when it comes to your desires. God designed sex as a way for a married couple to connect with each other on a deeper level. It's a way to express their love for one another. So when you hear or see something that doesn't match up with that plan, pay attention. Notice things that push you or tempt you to not honor yourself, others, or God with your desires. The third thing is talk about your sexual desires in a positive and appropriate ways with adults that you trust. They can help you set healthy lifestyle boundaries and are a safe place to process struggles or questions you have about this stuff. Your small group leader or your landing leader or any of us don't claim to be the expert on this topic, but I promise that we all have more wisdom and insight than you think. And besides that, we love you and we want what's best for you when it comes to sex and sexual desires. God actually cares a lot about our attractions and desires. And people who really love God wrote down all kinds of stuff about sex, relationships, desires, and how we use our bodies. We can find all of that in the Bible. That's why I think we can turn to Paul's words to help us understand a little more about what we're supposed to do with God's given desires. Take a look. See, he wants us to live with integrity. Integrity means doing the right thing in all circumstances, even if no one is watching. And when it comes to our sexual desires, he wants us to live with sexual integrity. That means choosing to respond to the sexual things we feel, think, and desire in a way that respects ourselves, others, and God. See, Paul explained that we should use our sexual desires in ways that are pleasing to God. It's not that we're supposed to get rid of or ignore our desires. It's natural to have them. But we should respond to our desires in ways that are good and pleasing and honorable to God, ourselves, and others. That's what sexual integrity is. How do we actually respond in a way that honors God? Well, look at the last part of Paul's letter right here. We can start by renewing or changing our minds. We can ask God to show us His plan for our desires. We can ask Him to change the way we see it, to understand it better, to notice how it's impacting our lives. And we can trust His plan because it is good. Because for everyone in this room and watching this video, the truth is this: God loves you. He created you to experience attraction and desires, and what you do with your desires matters. Okay, so was that as awkward as you thought it was gonna be? I really hope not. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope to see you on Thursday live here in person for the landing at 7 p.m. Have a great week, and remember to return with integrity.